All right, new data just in. I want to see how you guys feel about this. A new study shows that people who smoke weed are more likely to get lung disease than people who smoke cigarettes.
Interesting. Maybe because there's no filter.
Paid for by Philip Morris.
I wouldn't be surprised if both of those were on the money.
I bet it's true. People get jacked up from smoking pot.
Yeah?
The resin probably sticks harder than the tobacco.
Especially with all the vapes and stuff. I bet it's like, you know, a little sketchy. Sketchy frontiers.
So they did this in a controlled study among like a specific group. They got people that smoke only weed, people that smoke only cigarettes, and the people that don't smoke. Of the weed smokers, 75% of them developed emphysema. Of the cigarette smokers, 67% of them got emphysema.
It's still both fucking high.
It's still high, yeah.
Like they're acting like that shit's
And for the non-smokers, 5%.
Well, they say, like, health-wise, you shouldn't smoke anything. Like, at all.
They say that, or does Nick Dunn health professional say that?
And what if instead of this way, I did it like this way?
Oh, you're good.
that could work.
That's just cool.
My nose hairs.
And it's got to be like this though too.
Yeah.
You can't get emphysema that way. You're fine. You're
Tight
good.
as fuck. Getting your thumbs out.
Because the cilia on your nose hairs will trap the resin before it goes to your lung.
It definitely has the vibes of a Philip Morris paid study.
Dude, all the anti-vaping shit makes me laugh. Like how it's destroying lives. We've talked about this too, but it always cracks me up.
The no vaping team.
No vaping.
No
like,
vaping team.
No vaping team.
But don't like a lot of cigarette brands have interests in Juul and things like that?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure.
Because I know they bought into, I forgot if Big Tobacco did buy a huge portion of Juul.
How come you never got into the joys of drugs?
I don't know.
You just never wanted to do it?
Yeah, I just wasn't into it.
I bet it's purely interest-based for you. I bet that you just had no interest in it, and you're just like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's because like growing up, I was usually the peer pressurer. Like I like.
Why don't you do drugs when I never did it?
Yeah, I like to pressure people to do funny shit, and so I wasn't.
Go get that guy a blowjob. He's asleep.
Yeah, that's usually. So I think like I was never on the receiving end, and it just so happens I was never in a position where like 8 dudes were doing drugs and I was the odd one out. Like usually, people left me alone.
You never just like out of curiosity. I know no one peer pressured me to do it. I was begging to fucking find it. When I heard about it, I was like, what is this thing?
I think I was afraid. I think it was honestly, as a kid, I was afraid of it. Because I saw the little like PSAs and all of the like of kids like losing their shit or dads beating their kids, and like it worked on me for real. I was like, damn, like I don't want to. I'm scared. I was just scared of it, like the idea.
I didn't do any drugs until college. So like same thing, I was also scared, but then once you get into college and you start being around like people like that are doing it, using it, you know what I mean, having some good stories, everybody's laughing, it's very social. So you didn't get any of that type of peer pressure either?
Because I was around you when you guys were all still in college, and the party, I understood that like everyone was having a good time. I think it's because I was never a downer. I think I would notice people get pressured when they're not as fun. If that makes sense. I would observe that and be like, oh, this guy's just kind of not with the energy of the room. And so they're like, dude, why don't you fucking loosen up, take a drink, do something, you know? But like, I was usually there before people were high. I was already kind of like crazy.
You're the guy who showed up early?
Yeah.
They probably assumed that you were already on something.
Dude,
anyways.
lots of people have always assumed that I was on some shit.
They probably never offered you anything because they're just like a
fun-loving individual. Yeah, but I never got faced with that. I think the most I've ever been pressured was from girls. That was the most I've ever been pressured to do drugs.
Come on, take my virginity.
Well, because I think it's like a...
Take my virginity, that's it, that's a proposition.
It's like a thing, yeah, it's like a thing where... Here's one very common stupid thing I would hear all the time. When a girl would be like, I'd be hanging with her at a bar or at like a drinking scenario, and she'll say, let's have a drink, let's, you know, whatever. I'm like, oh, I actually don't drink. And then it'll get into this whole thing of like, why, just today?
You're judging me, huh? You're judging me right now, huh?
And then like, eventually if I feel prone to fucking explain it, then I would have to be like, I've actually never had a drink before, so I don't think you're not gonna be able to talk me into it tonight, you know? Yeah. And then they'll do this dumb thing where it's like, well, I could be your first drink.
Dude, that's not
that?
sexy, dude.
Take your first drink with me. It'll be like a monument. I'm like, yeah, really. I waited fucking 25 years to take it with you.
Yeah,
Who I just met.
right.
Like, really.
God, dude.
Yeah. No, it's-
Ryan's the man.
Ryan's fucking wild.
He's like, I'm not gonna take a
See, the
drink
thing
with
is,
you.
The longer you don't do something, the less you're tempted by it. You know, like the longer you haven't had it. I think I got through the core years where I could have been talked into it. I got through those core years. And then after that, it's just something that you don't do.
I used to do that with watching the Titanic movie. I'm not kidding, because everyone fucking watched the Titanic.
Abstaining from
Yeah.
it?
When
How
it came
dare
out,
you,
I was
dude.
like, I'm not watching this fucking movie. Everyone's talking about this movie. I'm not watching this fucking.
Did anyone tell you there was titties?
If only they had.
3 hours to just see titties. Okay.
But at that age,
I
Come
wasn't the
on.
biggest like Winslet guy, so I wasn't like needing to see those titties.
Yeah, those are period piece titties.
because I was like, oh my God, there's titties? Well, I gotta watch this
In
then.
that era, if Titanic was starring Pamela Anderson, I would have been first guy in line.
Oh, Leo and Pam.
I hear they're remaking it with Pam.
I'm in. I'll watch it. I'll be the first guy.
That is cool.
But no, I definitely. And then I'm with my first girlfriend, and she wanted to watch it and like have. It was like a double date, me and my buddy and his girlfriend, and then me and my girlfriend, and then she wanted to watch Titanic. I was like, "Fuck it," and I cried. It was a beautiful movie.
Wish I saw it sooner.
I actually really did like it.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
Titanic's a fucking good movie.
It's a good fucking movie. But I went into it, you know, because you're at that age and you're just like,
too
you're like,
cool.
I'm too cool for the shit.
Yeah.
And then like by the end of it, I'm like, oh my god, this is so sad. Like especially when the water's filling up the room and shit. I was like, god damn, this is.
It is actually pretty.
You know who put me on to chick flicks? Bart.
How and when?
Because we were talking about like favorite
I love the
movie of all
silence.
time and all this shit, right? And he goes, "Oh man, Notebook. Like Notebook's fucking sick." and I'm like,
Notebook is sick.
"For
Sick
real?"
is an interesting word to use, but yeah.
Notebook is hella sick.
He's
it's
like,
hella
"Notebook
dope.
is sick, right?" And I'm all like, "I'm like, wait, what?" Because
Dank, dude.
you know, like as you're growing up, you don't gravitate toward those movies. Like that's not the first thing a boy goes and checks, right?
Yeah,
So then when
you're
you,
right.
so then when you get to that age, you lose out on a whole era of like good movies.
That's true. You
Because your
do.
mind is like, oh, that's all girl stuff.
Yeah, it's on you. You
No, but
all
I feel
girl
like
stuff.
every single time I was watching some of that stuff, it was like I had such a strong joy watching that with the chick that I was maybe kind of into or something.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You don't want to seem like a bitch though.
No.
Like I was ashamed that I was crying.
Oh, in terms of crying. And
Well, you actually cried.
I cried. Well, I'm not kidding. I cried watching Titanic.
Fuck.
I know.
In the movie
I
theater.
feel like a bitch. No, I was at my girlfriend's house with.
I cried watching The Notebook the first time.
Wow.
I did.
Notebook was good.
Bro, once she fucking like, once he like forget, or once she forgets or something, right? Where they're like slow dancing. Yeah, I'm talking about Wakanda Forever.
You know what was it?
51st Dates fucked me up.
51st Dates also fucked me up.
That's a good one. That's a good rom-com.
Damn, dude, that's a good one. You ever hear what Neil deGrasse Tyson said about Titanic?
What do you say?
He has a gripe with it because there's a moment
course.
where Rose is looking at the sky.
He can shut the fuck up.
She's looking at the sky. You know when they're like after it's sunk and she's looking up. He said that's the incorrect sky.
God damn it,
Fuck
this guy! I
you.
can't fucking take it anymore.
That's why nerds get fucked up.
Yeah, dude.
But he didn't get fucked up enough, dude.
That's true.
He said like it's clearly a copy paste of one side to the other, and that's not what the stars would be at that point.
Oh yeah, dude. What the fuck?
And he told James Cameron, by the way. He told James Cameron like way back. He
James
mentioned-
Cameron told him to go fuck himself.
Yeah, because
I hope so.
one of James Cameron's prides is that it went into such meticulous detail. Everything's correct. And he's like, hey, what happened with that sky though? And then James Cameron at first said, oh, I wasn't there during post, so that might have slipped by. And then a few years later, Neil deGrasse Tyson ran into him again and asked him again, like, hey, what's up with that sky? Like, what happened with
It's really pissing me off still.
Yeah, and then James Cameron said, you know what's funny? To this day, Titanic's grossed over $1 billion. I wonder how much more that would have been if the sky was different.
Good.
That's
so
the best
petty.
answer.
I love it.
That's the best
Fucking
answer.
love it.
That's the response.
That's sick as hell. love.
Twice if you're Neil deGrasse Tyson,
No.
bro.
That's sick
Just
as
bring it
hell.
up once and that's it.
Yeah, James Cameron gets to do and say anything he wants after making Titanic.
Except
what?
for maybe 5 Avatar sequels. I maybe.
No. Well, he already made 2 and 3, and he said if people don't watch 2 and 3, he's not gonna do 4 and 5.
Okay.
Bro, I didn't even see one.
You didn't see it.
Is it? I think I missed the boat.
Good job.
I think I missed.
There's a 2?
Yeah.
Because I hear
2 comes out in December.
Oh.
It's the best
In
way
the
to watch
theater,
it.
it was good. It was wild.
It was really it was surreal in the theater.
It was
Okay, watch it. Watch
it
number
was
2
tight.
this December in IMAX after you watch number 1. But watch it. It's meant for big screen.
Yeah. I watched it on IMAX.
Do we need the glasses? Are they doing the glasses still?
You need
I'd be down. I'd be down.
So Avatar, you guys like
Down for
Avatar?
fucking 3D everything on movies like
You gotta
that.
be the Avatar.
Avatar is a visually beautiful movie with a very whatever boring same.
It's Pocahontas.
It's
True.
stunning, but it's like
Dances
it's a
with-
retelling done right. I think. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible.
The other day, they're like,
It ain't no Reservoir Dogs, but it's good.
this meme the other day was like, they showed a picture of the Avatar, right? They're like, this dude, fucking, he turned his back on his whole race, the human race, just for some alien poon.
Man, one way to look at it.
He transitioned.
He did.
Go back if
He
he
went
wants to.
interspecies and shit.